Well, if President Trump called the House bill mean in a rare moment of honesty, can you imagine what he is going to say about this new Senate bill? Senate Republicans started with the Trumpcare bill that was negotiated behind closed doors in a room of 13 men. And not surprisingly, it would have been devastating for patients, women, and families. When they finally released their bill, it was immediately rejected by people across the country. Democrats, Republicans, independents, millions of people stood up, said no to that awful bill. They said no to the increasing costs for their families and for seniors. They said no to putting insurance companies back in charge. They said no to cutting tens of millions of people off of their health insurance. And they said absolutely no to Trumpcare. In fact, one study came out showing it was the least popular bill in 3 decades, which shouldn't be surprising to anyone who actually looked at what's in it. So what did Republican leaders do in the face of large-scale popular rejection of their bill? What did Republican leaders do after Republican senator after Republican senator after Republican senator said they could not vote for it without massive changes to help more people? Well, they made their bill even worse, even meaner. They did nothing to address the concerns that even many Republicans, governors, senators, and many others had about the massive cuts to Medicaid that will be devastating to patients and states. They did nothing to truly address the defunding of Planned Parenthood and cutting off access of care to millions of women. They did nothing to truly address how this bill would devastate our efforts to combat the opioid crisis, despite trying to hide that fact by including a fund that one Republican governor said is like spitting in the ocean. And when it comes to affordability and putting insurance companies back in charge, Republican leaders not only didn't fix the problems, they made them a whole lot worse. They caved to the most extreme members of their caucus and included the Cruz-Lee provision that would put the insurance companies back in charge and let them sell junk plans that don't cover what people actually need. It would raise premiums for anyone who isn't perfectly healthy and young. It will tell anyone who has a pre-existing condition or who gets sick, tough luck, and it will send the healthcare market into a tailspin. This bill was awful without that provision, but this is truly appalling. And it's almost as if Leader McConnell wants to allow Ted Cruz to poison and tank this latest effort. So I can only hope that Republicans who have opposed this bill because it hurts their constituents will be honest with themselves and honest with their constituents and oppose this awful and mean bill. Now, I know many Republicans are still scrambling for alternatives because they realize how toxic Trumpcare is. We saw a new one from Senators Graham and Cassidy just hours ago, and Democrats have made it very clear, and I want to reiterate this. We are ready, as we always have been, to work with Republicans to repair the damage they have caused to health care and work to make health care more affordable, more accessible, and higher quality. They just need to finally stand up with people across the country, reject Trumpcare, and then we will be ready to get to work.